Okay, Steve, we have a second question, and it goes like this. Well, abandonment is a critical aspect of environmental management in the oil industry. Could you share examples of successful well abandonment projects in Colombia that have had a positive impact on sustainability and environmental protection?
Very, very good point. So, when we look at subsurface reservoirs, and I had this question this morning of my colleague, he said, why does abandoning a well bring value to an operator? So it does it in a few different ways. So a well has risk. If you look at a well, it looks tired, it's rusty, and the older it gets, the worse the integrity gets. So the first area of risk is integrity. Will this still contain hydrocarbon? If it doesn't, we're in big trouble. And everyone has a phone. So 25 years ago, finding out there was an oil discharge to surface was word of mouth, and it may have been local news. Now it's a photograph, and you can access millions of people. Okay, so integrity risk is serious. It's also got an impact on your reservoir. If you lack integrity in the wellbore, you can have thermal losses through that stream. That's going to cool your reservoir down and make it harder to flow to surface. It increases your lift cost. Now look at the second piece of risk in a well. It's economic risk. So the people that built this building took a long-term liability on their company balance sheet when they built it to decommission the building. So they're penalised until they decommission the building, and then they release that liability. All operators do the same. So there's a financial risk against that wellbore. So there's a reason to go and decommission the wellbore financially. It delevers your balance sheet. And as we see in the presentation, if you can do it in an effective way, you can unlock cash flow. In that, if we're going to be 56% ahead of the provision we've taken already, it means you can either do more wells with the same money, or you can go and take a borrowing against that and drill wells, which gives you a 10 to 15 year return. And then lastly, with sustainability, we need to transition our energy mix quickly. Now, decommissioning well slots allows us to reuse them. And that's really why we have to get very good at it quickly. If we're nervous, if there's a lack of process, we don't perform decommissioning. Now, if we can decommission a lower reservoir and then re-drill the well slot, I don't have the carbon footprint of drilling a new well. All I have is a sidetrack. So it's far more capitally effective to the operator. And it's also a lower carbon footprint because we're not drilling a new facility. So that's why it's critical we get very good at it and we develop the communities of practice we need to go and safely, sustainably decommission, and then we can start to reuse our well slots. And then once we've removed pay and hydrocarbon, we can then finally decommission them. What we see in Europe and what we see in some of the Eastern Hemisphere is carbon capture and sequestration. We see re-injection of carbon into wellbores. So that's another reuse potential for us. Where you have high population, high density of industry, it's a very, very useful way to decarbonise your industry also. So we need to get good at it, we need to standardise as an industry, and that's why events like this are so important.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your hospitality. It was awesome. Thank you. Bye.